Hey, we're live. How you doing, Caleb?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm telling you guys, I apologize, everyone who's watching right now. All you can see is like half of my face, which it is a big face, but still.
It's a great face, Tyson. It's a great face.
So if anyone knows how to use StreamYard and how to, because my camera, when I do it normally, it's just normal, but for some odd reason, all you can see is my face on this. So, but we'll just say hi to the few people that are joining us right now. So we have Bald and Beardiful. How you doing? We have Nick. Nick's always around. He's a super nice guy. Appreciate you joining us there.
Nice.
Yeah. What up, Russ? How you doing, man? Russ is always another one who's always joining us. And then we have E. E-Rock. He's actually, I believe he's from Guatemala, right, E? Make sure that I know I'm saying that.
I don't know. Those American flags are very confusing if he's from Guatemala. I'm just kidding.
No, he's a stud. He's been here forever. It's just I think he's like that.
That's awesome.
What's up, Steven? Yeah, Steven, he's told me like a million times. Like he's from Steven, forgive me. I want to say Ireland or something like that.
Nice.
Your face, Tyson. I want my money back.
You can never have too much Tyson face. Guatemala.
Yeah, see, I was right. I know what's up.
Guatemala.
So, all right. So we'll just start, everyone. So this is Caleb. Caleb and I know each other for what, the past 3, 4, 5 years?
3, 4, 5 years? You mean 10 years?
Ish. I really don't know. How many years?
I don't know. How old was your oldest boy when he did a show with us? It's been like
he was small.
Years, dude.
Yeah, he was small. It was Little Mermaid. Is what
Little Mermaid.
To Ziegfeld Theater. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a little kid.
Right?
Yeah, we've known each other for quite a while now, Tyson. It's kind of crazy.
What's up, Dave? So Dave is from Florida. He's one of my affiliates, really good dude. And him and I are working on something a little special here.
Ooh.
And here's Bruce City. What's up, man? And Ireland. See, I know what's up.
Ireland? I spent 2 years in England. Everybody thought I was from Ireland because of the American accent. The minute that it mixes a little bit with English, they automatically think you're Irish because you have the hard R's. You got the hard R's, but you still have a bit of the rest of it. And they think that you're Irish. I had a lot of people think I was Irish in England.
I just don't have any accent. I just have a
No, you do not. I tried to get you to do accents in plays, and you can't do an accent. You're the worst at it. Love you, but
my
you're
Russian
the worst.
accent in Matilda was decent.
A Russian accent in Matilda was that was the best. That was the best you could do.
What was it? When I was playing Snape, and I had to do
trying to do the British accent is trying to do Alan Rickman at all. Like, forget it.
Yeah, my Candace still says that was the best thing she's ever seen. Whenever I said, "Oh no," it's an inside joke, guys. I apologize.
Oh no, I love it.
And then I was like, "I'll treasure this always."
Oh man.
So for all those who don't know Caleb, I'm going to have him introduce that. But Caleb and I are really good friends. We've done several shows together. Actually, every show I've ever been in, he's either directed, his wife has directed, or he's actually been a cast member with me. So Caleb and I know each other really well, and I felt like he is a professional entrepreneur, very successful, and I felt like this would be a good. He would be able to teach us all a lot of information and help us become better at what we do. So I thought I'd invite him. So Caleb, with that, why don't you tell us about who you are and what you like to do and just a little bit about yourself.
All right. So my name's Caleb. I'm 35 now. When I was about 15, 16, I started an improv comedy troupe. Theater's been my life since I was a small kid. Since I was about 5, I've been doing theater. And I started an improv troupe when I was about 15. And that just kind of grew. Everything grew from there. We started at a small theater that I knew the owners of and was able to kind of leverage that relationship and say, hey, let's do this thing. And they said yes. And so I started that, and it just grew and grew and grew. I was able to manage a really awesome troupe of comedians for a long time. We grew a huge audience there in Ogden, Utah. For a long time, it was off-the-wall comedy improv is what we did. I went away for a while. I came back. I got married. My wife helped me run things for a little bit, and it just exploded even further. And eventually it came time for us to say, hey, why don't we get our own venue? And so we noticed a little, not even a mile from where we were performing, there was an old movie theater, the Country Club Theater here in South Ogden, Utah. And we bought that place and we converted it into a live theater venue where we started doing musical theater. That was in 2012. We bought in January 2012, and we started producing theater. Our first show was that summer in June. And so it's been 9 years now. And things just grew and grew and grew and grew. And I believe in and have a very big philosophy in yes and, which if any of you guys know improv comedy, it's all about yes and, and improv is responsible for a lot of the shows that a lot of you guys probably know and love, 30 Rock and Schitt's Creek and Seinfeld and all of these amazing sitcoms that you've grown up, the classic comedy is all built around improv comedy and the principle of yes and. It's a principle of, yeah, if you've got something, awesome. Let's see what we can do with that. Let's build on that. Let's work on that. And let's see if we can make it better and build something together and go up and up and up. And the minute somebody says no, everything kind of stops, everything kind of halts. And it's like, man, like we can't go past this because you're not willing to accept and move on. And I don't know. It's kind of weird, but that's how I built a company. Yeah. That's how I built an empire. And the Ziegfeld Theater now, we're 9 years strong. We're going very well. We have about 20,000 patrons come through our doors. We put about 1,000 kids on stage every single year.
Including mine.
Some of which have been Tyson's kids. And Tyson is on stage with us probably at least twice a year. You end up doing a show.
Yeah, and I was just telling Candace, I'm like, when am I going to do another one? I need to go audition. I just don't know when I can, but man, I miss it.
I know, but dude, you better come back to be my right hand.
We're going to talk about that later because I think
we'll talk.
No one has any idea because I think it's hilarious. This is a fun
You better come back. You're the best right hand I've ever had in my life. You're the only. Well, not the only, I will say, but you were the best by far. It's been a wild ride. That's all I do for a living now is produce musical theater. We have an arts academy that is very robust. We have a 9,000 square foot facility where we put kids on stage, and it's just crazy. We have a homeschool arts academy. I mean, it keeps growing. It keeps getting better and better and better. And like, just everything just keeps happening. And I don't know, I love it. And it's just I feel very fortunate in life. I really do. And I feel very fortunate to have amazing people in my life like you, Tyson, and like so many other friends that you and I share. There's just so many amazing people in this world, and when we come together and we say yes and we try to participate in life together, things just happen, and it's amazing. And I mean, I'm sure we'll get into all of this, but I just got to tell you, dude, I'm so proud of you for this company, and like it's just amazing. And I smelled your products a year ago. Well, not even a year ago. It's been
Christmas
7 months now, right?
Yeah, Christmas.
Around Christmas, I smelled all your products and I was like, dude, this is freaking awesome. Like, these are amazing. And then I got my hands on them, and like, I kid you not, I don't know if we'll get to this later or not, but I put them on in the bathroom, and my wife wouldn't let me leave the bathroom. Like, she just, I mean, you know my wife, she's all over me anyway. Like she's just crazy. And she went nuts for your product, man. She was just like filling my beard and smelling me and just like like, we got to lock the kids up because we got to take care of this right now. And it was just amazing. And, you know, I put them on this morning again, and it was the same thing. She was like, we can't go to Lagoon. Let's not go to amusement park. Like, let's just stay here. You're the amusement park, right? But seriously, she just loves it. Beards and Banjos.
So this guy, he actually has his own YouTube channel called Beards and Banjos, and he plays music every Friday night karaoke style, and
wow.
he's one of my affiliates, and he's a genuine, really, really good dude. So, what's up, Michael? Appreciate you. He does play banjo, yes. Wow,
we just finished a show at the theater, Bright Star, that is all Steve Martin banjo music. So, freaking, I got a big appreciation for banjo right now in my life.
Are you guys playing that at Park City?
No, that didn't quite go to Park City. Park City wasn't quite open yet. So
okay.
Yeah, but 9 to 5, our next main stage, and the following main stage, which will be Monty Python's Spam-A-Lot, that'll go up. Yep, that'll go up to Park City as well. So it's been really great. But yeah, Bright Star stayed here. But Bluegrass Beard,
that's another one. That's what I'm telling you. So he's another, like, right when I started my company, Ken and I became really close friends. We talk almost every day. Ken's a good guy, and he's from Kentucky, and I always make fun of him because of the way he talks, because it's not Louisville, it's rural. Whenever he says it's rural, so I make fun of him. Like, hey, I'm not the only one who speaks horrible.
Tyson, don't even try to do his accent. Come on. Come on now.
Tyson, I got the sauce, brother. They're awesome. Hey, appreciate it, Nick. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Oh yeah, and he always makes fun of how I say orange. What? How do you say hammock? Do you say hammock or hammock?
I say hammock like a normal fucking
human. Normal way
to sorry. Sorry, I'll try not to swear. Sorry.
But
I say hammock like a normal person.
It's Louisville. It's Louisville.
Louisville.
All right. But anyway, it's always fun how you just the more this company grows, the more people I get to know and get to interact with, and so I get to learn a little bit more culture. I get to learn a little bit more of like, there's a guy from New Jersey. His name is Jay Cruz. One of my favorite people in the whole world. Like, one of the most genuine, most energetic. Like, and he started saying "no cap," which means I'm not joking. I didn't know what it meant. It's like total middle-aged white guy saying it. And so Ken and I, every time he says something serious, we'll write in. It's like "no cap," no cap, and it's a bunch of middle-aged white guys. It's hilarious. And then this guy right here, Vinny P, he was in my show last week, and this guy is a stud too. So he's going to be a professional powerlifter, and he's a really, really good guy. He's we always make fun of him. We always say he's 4'9", 270. He's really 5'7", but he's a genuine, really good person. You would really, like, you and him would get along really well.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, powerlifting, that's right up your alley, right?
Oh yeah, I love powerlifting. You know that.
Yeah.
What's up, Joey? Joey's an avid fisherman, truly good guy. I'm just saying hi to everyone as they're trickling in. So.
No, that's great. I gotta say, Tyson, I didn't know anything about why you picked Copper Johns as your name for your company and all of that. And I just want to say, top down, I love your product. But two, I'm all about packaging, and I don't know if it's just because I'm a gifts person, but like my wife will always be like, "Here's your gift. I didn't wrap it," and I'm like, "That's not a gift." Like, come on. But you know, the other day I showed up and you had dropped off the product, and it was in that sleek black bubble wrap package, right? And because you had dropped it off personally, there was no marking on it, and I was like, who the hell, like, what is this? Is this I don't know, like, right? And I opened it up, and I loved the packaging of your product. I loved the card in there with the explanation about Copper John and the fly. And like, I'm not a fisherman. You know me, I'm not an outdoors person at all. Yeah. But I got the Copper John fly, and I read the explanation and the way it was presented and just everything. I don't. It was really cool, dude. I really
appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the packaging of the product, and then the product itself is just so sleek and so awesome, and just like it's made my beard feel like $1,000,000. And like I don't, I don't have a super long beard. I tried during COVID. I said, well, I mean, everybody's had their hardship through COVID, right? And
yeah.
For me, I own and run a theater. I own and run a business that relies on 250 people coming together, sitting down in one place for 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly that was not a thing at all. And that was really freaky. And when that happened, we're okay. We're great. And honestly, I don't know. I tell people this all the time, but COVID has simultaneously been the worst year of my entire life. Mm-hmm. And the absolute best. It's been kind of crazy, the reflection and the things. But one of the things I realized was just having everything I knew of ripped away from me for a time. I decided, I was like, what can I do to mark this event? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I decided that I would grow out my beard. I was like, I'm gonna just grow out my beard. Like, screw it. Nobody's gonna see me anyway. I'm gonna grow it out till I can reopen.
Right.
So I started growing it out, and product became super important. I mean, even my tight knit beard right now, but it's important. And the second it got even longer, I realized just how important beard product was. And a buddy of mine, Eb, Eb.
Yeah, I know Eb well.
Yeah, for Christmas this last year, he knew I was growing my beard out, so he got me a little beard package. It was just like something he found online. And it had a balm in it and an oil and a brush and like whatever, right? And I started using it. And it was the first time I realized like the importance of beard product. And I think as guys, I don't think that we think about it very much.
No.
I think guys think like, oh, whatever, like let the women have their product, let the women go get pedicures, let the women whatever. No. There's two things a guy can do for themselves, and one is have beard product, and two is go to a barber and have a barber, straight razor, clean up everything, clean up all the edges. My barber will clean up even up here. He'll clean up my beard. He'll clean up down here. It's just amazing. And I think as dudes, we always think like, oh no, we're whatever for that. But no. We need that in our lives. And then also the product is so important. And as soon as I started using product on my longer beard, especially, it was amazing. And the way it made it feel, the way it made it look. And my wife was just like, she couldn't keep her hands off, right?
And it's soft, and it's I feel like, the guys that are in here right now, they understand what you're saying. But hopefully there's people who are listening here in the future and whatnot, that they understand that, it's not just for women, like smelling good, taking care of yourself, making sure that you personally are okay. And beards for me personally bring self-confidence. Like I started growing a beard because of actually, remind me of the show. I was the bad guy.
Music Man?
No.
Bill Sykes, Oliver.
No. Yeah, Oliver. I had to start growing a beard for Oliver, and I never had grown one. And I didn't realize how much I loved having a beard, like how much more confident I felt around people. And I didn't know that was even a thing. And so I think as I grew and I started realizing how important it was to just take care of yourself, not only like physically working out and eating healthy, but just taking care of your hair and your skin. It really does. It helps you out a lot. So I appreciate you saying that. So we have the guy I was telling you about, Jay Cruz, who I was talking about. He's here. He's a healthy beard, so I really like him. I was telling you about. And then we have Vinny. I was telling you about. I'm not sure who Caleb is, but Tyson has him on. He must be pretty awesome. But man, side by side, Tyson's dome is fast. Yes, Vinny. As you get to know Caleb, you're going to absolutely love him. He's a really good dude. What's up, Beard Code? This is Devin. I call him Devon. Have you ever seen Bewitched with what's his name? Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
And how he always goes, what's his sidekick's name? Who always asks for like his drinks and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, but
I remember that. I loved the series Bewitched when I was a kid, dude. I used to watch that all the time.
But his name is Devin, and I call him Devon instead of his real name, just because Randall. See, Candace is right here. Randall instead of Randall, so I call him Devon instead of Devin. All right, so let's move it forward. Okay. So, what made you start with the Ziegfeld Theater? Start with your improv company, because if anyone doesn't know about improv, it's hilarious. First of all, I was introduced to improv like on TV, like everyone else, when it came to Whose Line Is It Anyway? But then I saw it firsthand in the shows and how difficult it really is, like me trying to do it myself. And you know what I mean? And I try, and then I lose character because I laugh so hard at my own jokes. But when I saw you guys do the one with Mary Poppins called Mary Floppins, and Mary Poppins became evil, and then it was and yes, and they just kept adding to it, and the songs were hilarious. What made you do all that? Like, what made you go into business, create this company, and just do it for yourself?
I don't know, man. Certainly wasn't money, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I know.
No, I don't know. I think that passion's really important. And the things that you're passionate about are really important. And as I get older, I realize how fortunate I am. I mean, I worked in the corporate world for just shy of 2 years, and that was it. And now I'm out. Like, I'm out of the rat race. And I don't know. I think it's just so important to do what you're passionate about, to work toward what you like to do. And I think that's what all of us seek after. I think all of us seek after the thing that, like, well, if I didn't have to do X, Y, Z, I could just do this, right? Yeah. Whatever this is, get yourself to that point. And I think that it's about being creative around that point and figuring out. I mean, I was just a young kid, but I realized opportunity at the time. My dad had helped someone build a theater. He was a general contractor, and he was a general contractor on the building. And so he built this theater for this woman, and Beverly Olson, who's like a grandma to me.
Yeah.
And he was just like, sure, let's just do shows there. This could be fun for my kids, like whatever. And so we just started doing theater. As a young kid, I started doing theater, and I personally fell in love with it. I fell in love with it. I had a great time there. All of my friends, and quickly those friends became family. And then
people have no idea what you're talking about, but it's 100% true. You become closer to these people than anyone else in the whole world, like, because you are showing emotions, you're vulnerable. I mean, what you're saying, I 100% attest, because I feel the same way.
Right. And I think that as I grew up in that environment, I just thought, well, this is my environment, right? Like, this is what I want to do. And I just looked for opportunity. And I think that is the key thing behind entrepreneurs, is look for your niche, look for your opportunity, and don't be afraid to grow small. That's the thing. I mean, I look at what you did. Like, all of a sudden you came to me like a year ago and you're like, I'm doing beard stuff. And I was like, what the hell are you doing, Tyson? Like, you're one of the most educated people I know. You have like what, I don't know.
5 degrees. I have
5 degrees, 2 masters.
No, right? Just 1 master's.
1 master and 4 freaking other. That's just insane to me, right? And I remember just being like, "What are you doing theater on my stage? Like, this is ridiculous." But it was a passion thing for you, and you were like, "Oh, I love doing this," and then you also were able to do it with your family. I mean, and it's just been like. Isaac. I mean, I adore Isaac. I saw him the other day. He came up and gave me a huge hug after Bright Star, and was just like, this was amazing. You're awesome. And I adore your family. And Lydia, she's always there working.
Yeah.
And like, theater is something we can do with our family, and we can have this passion behind it. And as an entrepreneur, I looked at it and I said, great, well, where's the money? How can I make this be a profitable thing for me? Because money's important, right?
Oh yeah, you have to take care of your family.
Absolutely. And I looked at it and I said, well, okay, I'm good at this comedy thing. I can put people together and I can help those people be successful too. So, okay, great. Let's put everybody together. Let's create a show and let's just run it. And we started running, and off the wall, I mean, it became this huge deal, and it was just this fun thing and it was a local thing, but pretty soon, we started averaging 100 people, and then we averaged 150 people, and then we averaged 200 people a night. Every weekend we would have all these people there to see our comedy, and it was like, whoa, this is cool. How can I grow this further? And that, I guess that's the lesson I think that I learn as an entrepreneur and that I learn in things is like, do what you're good at, tweak it, make sure it's your passion, but tweak it. Make sure that people are buying, because if people aren't buying, then something's wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you tweak it, and you make it so that people can buy it, and then you move on and you move forward and you just keep going, and you make it be what you want it to be, and you bring it to people that also want it. And don't be afraid about the naysayers. Here's the deal. People are going to naysay. People don't want you to be bigger than you are. I don't know how much you want me to go into entrepreneurial things.
I have several people here who are working side hustles, I would call them right now. So we have Jason right here. Jason is actually working on a whole project that him and I are talking about. We have Vinny, who he is looking really hard for training people and stuff like that. Like, he's really good at that. We have Ken. He's trying really hard to create not only the channel but his brand. Everyone that we're talking to right here are people who are truly trying to better themselves through entrepreneurship, I would say. So I think definitely. I really believe what you're saying is captivating and helping people. So that's why I just keep going if you want to. Good.
I think one of the big things is crabs in the bucket. Have y'all heard this analogy before? I don't know if you've heard this, Tyson, but crabs in the bucket. If you put a bunch of crabs in one bucket,
mm-hmm.
the moment that the crab starts to climb out of that bucket and get closer to the top, the other crabs will literally pull it back down, because nobody wants that crab to leave the bucket.
Yeah.
And I think that as entrepreneurs, we experience that to the nth degree continually. As we try to climb out of our buckets, as we say, I don't want to be stuck in the rat race, as we say, I've got this product that's really cool and everybody needs to see it. As we start to do it, the naysayers, they will come out of the frickin' woodwork. And they will be there to say, this is crap. How dare you? What do you think you're doing? And they will try to pull you down from that bucket because they don't want you to leave. It's very comfortable when all of us sit in the bucket together. It's very comfortable. But the minute that one person leaves, the minute that crab leaves the bucket, it's like, no, you got to get back down here with the rest of us. What do you think you're doing? Who do you think you are leading?
And what you're saying is absolutely 100% true. But as for me, and I know for you, and if I'm speaking out of turn, let me know. You have had difficult days. I've had difficult days. I've had, when you have those naysayers and you have people who are talking down towards you or talking down towards your company, it's hard not to take it personal, first of all.
Oh, yeah.
And then second of all, keeping your mouth shut. And then third of all, it's just like, I know I have something good. What's going on? Why are they being this way? And I hear what you're saying. So how do you, because first, we have a wonderful family Christmas show that we do. I've done 5 years in a row with you. And we'll talk about that in a minute, I promise. But we have people walk out on that every year. And it's a wonderful family show, but they get offended. And so how do you personally ignore the negativity, even though you know it's there, so that you can continue to progress and become better?
You know, I think that all of us, I think the minute the negativity hits, I think the minute that somebody's negative about something we're doing, whether it be beard product or a theater or a show or, you know, whatever it is specifically, to me, it's about the ratio. I look at it and I go, okay. I look at it and go, all right, 5,000 people have come and seen this show over the past years.
Yeah.
And there's a handful that walk out and think like, how dare you? Or, you know, I'll have one woman stand in the lobby and say, I brought my whole family to see this show, and you said an off-color thing. And I'm like, really, lady? You can't just laugh? And of course, that's not how we treat it. We just go, oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. Come check us out for another G-rated show later.
Well, and not only that, it's not you. No one purposely tries to hurt anyone.
Of course. But when that happens, when that criticism comes, it's just so important for us to stand in our power and to stand in what we know is right, and to say, okay, this one person, this one thing, you're the anomaly. You're the one that is not understanding this, that's not getting this, and I'm sorry. That's great. You know, you go do your thing. We're going to be here doing our thing, because the majority, the 95% of people are loving what we do, are supporting what we do. And that's when I know that I'm doing what I'm doing, and that what I'm doing is okay, and that it's right. And I think so often we allow that one voice to be the loudest voice, because, and Tyson, I know that you're a lot like me.
Oh, I am.
In that when we have that one voice come at us, both of us just shut down, and we sit and we, damn, like, what do I do? How can I make this right for that person? And like, and we get stuck in this minutia, and it takes just that second to get perspective. I tell my wife all the time, whenever I feel that like, that whole like bogged downness, I like to go outside, and for where we live, you know, we have the mountains around us, and I'll look at the highest peak I can see, Ben Lomond Peak, or whatever it is I can see.
Side note, everyone, Ben Lomond Peak is actually what movie theater? What movie? Anyway, Ben Lomond Peak is the mountain of one of the logos for the movie production company.
It is? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the one that I'll have to find it out, but yes, it is.
You'll have to look, because yeah, it's epic. But anyway, it's just, I mean, it's right there, right? And I look at that and I go, if this world is so vast, if this whole thing is so big, this is certainly bigger than that one woman, that one dude that was naysaying me. All of this is so much bigger than that. Whatever they have going on is fine. And whatever they needed to say, they said. And good for you. But I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep affecting so many lives. And as you start to look at your footprint and what you're really doing, never lose sight of that. You know, I think it's so easy for me, especially sitting in Ogden, Utah, and my business is very local, right? What you're doing, it's like you can affect, and on this podcast, or on this stream, we have all of these people that are here from around the world, mostly in the U.S., but I'm sure in the world, right?
So we have Canada, we have Ireland, we have Mexico, or Guatemala. Yeah, we have 3 people. Yeah, definitely.
It's so amazing, and what you're doing affects everybody, and it's so easy for me here in Ogden, because what I do is that, you know, I put butts in seats. I'm not selling movies. I'm selling a live experience.
Yeah, you're definitely an experience for sure.
And so as you come into my venue, you know, I look at that and I go, well, I can only affect 266 people at a time. But it's so much more than that. It's so much more than that.
Well, can I say something on that?
Yeah.
So when you did Lacage, so everyone just understand, this is not to be offensive towards anyone or create any decisiveness, but so when I went and saw Lacage, I brought Candace, And everyone who doesn't know what Lacage is, it's off of Birdcage, correct?
Yeah, the Birdcage film with Nathan Lane and Robin Williams. That is a musical that they adapted for film, but the musical is called La Cage aux Folles, The Birdcage.
Yeah, and so I went Lacage, and it was extremely, extremely powerful. So powerful, in fact, that I felt like my kids needed to see it. And I think the experiences that you create will affect people in a way to help better themselves, how they treat people. Like you created a feeling inside where you're like, am I treating these type of people the way they deserve? Am I being respectful? Am I being loving? I have a whole different view, even though I have wonderful friends from that, it's just, am I treating them with respect? And it really opened my eyes, and I wanted to make sure my kids. And so I really believe that live theater and stuff like that really does not just affect you, but affects your family and the way you treat people too. And especially when you have hard times right now and you just wanted to laugh and leave the world. Dude, you have something very special, and I'm grateful for it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I remember when you came to Lacage.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you in the lobby after, and I remember you talking to me about that. And I remember when your kids came back. I mean, this has been several years ago now. And I remember being so appreciative that something I had done and something that we had put on stage had affected you in such a way that you wanted to affect change and made sure that your kids saw it.
Yeah.
And that they understood and could have that sympathy for that group of people, for the LGBTQ plus community, right? And I think everything we do is important to that extent. And I think even down to the product we put in our beards, right? Like that's such a fun thing for such a large subculture group of people to understand and to go, like that's important. I want even it sounds so, I don't know, trivial or silly, but like putting product in your beard is something that 15 years ago my kids wouldn't have seen their dad do.
Yeah.
But my kids now, being, I have a 6 and a 3-year-old, and they're like, what's dad doing in the bathroom? It's like, well, mom's putting on her makeup, but I'm putting in my beard. Like, I'm doing my beard stuff. Like, and it's important to look nice and to feel proud of who we are and feel proud of the way that we look. And I don't know.
No,
that's silly.
So all these guys, you're speaking to them directly, and like Liam, one of the hardest working, and Chris right here. These guys, I talked to Ryan, Bearded Cheesehead, even though he's a Bucks fan and a Green Bay fan, we'll forgive him. But these guys have gone through a lot of life experience. Like he was in the military, Chris was in the military, and Liam was in the military, and they, I never would have been introduced to them. Like Liam's in Florida, Chris is in Iowa, but I talk to him literally every day. I talk to Ryan all the time. It's just because of beard product.
That's
and we became and we've all become friends, and it's definitely something special. I hear what you're saying. And then we have Beards and Shenanigans. What's up, man? This is Kyle.
Shenanigans. I love that name.
All right. So next question. We have lots of questions, but man, you're a good interview. So what
Sorry, I talk too much.
For young entrepreneurs and not even young, just overall. So like I was telling you, you have for someone trying to grow their YouTube page, or someone to try to grow their brand, or me, I'm trying to grow a company, and I'm taking it slow on purpose. I have a lot of opportunity, but you can only grasp on a few things at a time. What advice do you have for them?
I think my biggest advice for anybody is keep going. Just keep doing it. I believe so much in the law of attraction in a certain way. And that is that if you are passionate about what you do and you notice as you start to go that people are joining you and doing that with you, then keep going. If you're just tanking, I mean, if nothing seems to be going right and whatever, and you can pinpoint what it is, if it's your product that people don't like or whatever, like it change things up, right? But for the most part, and I think that most entrepreneurs aren't entrepreneurs unless something's going right.
Yeah.
If something is going right for you and you have this killer product, or you have a killer vision, or you have a killer personality that can attract people to what you do, just keep going. That's my biggest advice. And I mean, I kid you not, there's been so many times where I've looked at things and gone like, you should stop. And I mean,
I've been there when you felt that way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You and I have talked about it before, where it's like, I don't know if I should keep going. And it's like, so many times I think that we think that we're not affecting people and that we're not affecting change. And when you stop and you look at it from the outside and you get people's perspective, like you have been that voice for me before, several other people have been that voice for me before. From the inside, we don't always see the clear picture. We don't always have the confidence in ourselves. We don't always feel what's right. But if those around us, if those you have chosen as cheerleaders, and as long as they are true cheerleaders, and don't get stuck in the minutia of a friend that really is just a crab in a bucket.
Yeah.
You've got to break through all of that bullshit. You really do. And get to the point where you're looking at it going, okay, what I have is good. I feel it in my heart. I know it's good, and I'm going to continue to work. And as long as you push forward with, as an atheist, I hesitate to use the word faith, but in faith in what you're doing, in knowing that what you're doing is good, in looking forward and continuing to move forward, that's what's important. And never give up. If you're in that boat, just don't give up. That's my biggest advice. Find the ways. Be open. Listen. Keep your ears around. Keep your head on the ground. Keep focused. Don't just plow away on something that's not going to work.
Yeah.
But keep focused and keep in that yes and mindset. Keep looking at everything going, what is working and how do I better what's working, opposed to how do I change? How do I like whatever, like just keep working. If you know what you're doing is good, like you've got to, like I look at you, Tyson, you've got this solid product, right? And it is, to me, as a friend of yours and someone who's known you for years, like it came out of frickin' nowhere. And it was so, you're like, yeah, I'm doing beard stuff now. And I'm like, sure, Tyson, let's go on stage. But like, but now like you are doing the thing and you leaned into the thing that you're doing. And like sitting on this interview with you because you've leaned in and you're doing it to the umpteenth degree. And that's what's important. Letting your passion guide you to continue to do what you're doing. And for me, that's the biggest deal, is just don't freaking give up. As long as you know what you have is good, don't give up. And I think that the key to the answer to the question, how do I know what is good?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you.
You'll feel that in your heart. You will. You'll feel that in your heart. You'll feel that in your brain. You will understand that what you have is good. Mm-hmm. And once you start to move forward with that, the opposition that you may or may not experience, that will just help clue you in on that what you're doing is good. When you feel the crabs pulling you back into the bucket, that is when you know you have something good. That's when you say, okay, cool. I'm good. Game on. Like, let's go. Let's see how strong we can be.
I love that. Game on.
And it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Especially
I'm writing notes. I'm not joking. I'm literally writing notes as we talk because I really like what you've had to say on a lot of this stuff.
I mean, it's like, do you think Bezos had a good, like, we can all think what we want about Jeff Bezos, right? But he built this unbelievable thing, and he's reaping the benefits of that. And we can all think what we want about those benefits, but the fact of the matter is, he had this cool thing, he knew it would go, and he pushed forward.
Yeah.
And like, and yeah, you know,
never quit, never surrender.
All or nothing, baby. Live by it. I love that. And like, you know, it's just, I don't know. And like you said, you've been there with me before when I've been like, I don't know about all this. I don't know. You know, producing theater is not easy.
No.
And again, it's not, there's, the paycheck isn't there. Right?
Hey, Russ, Jeff Bezos is Amazon. Owner of Amazon.
Russ, yeah.
He started out in a garage and just pushed.
You know, it's like you've got your Jobs, you've got your Steve Jobs, you've got your Bill Gates, you've got your Jeff Bezos, you've got, I mean, those are the big ones, sure. There are thousands of those people around us.
Oh, absolutely.
And there are thousands of people like that in your community, any community. There are people that have developed a product and that have pushed forward knowing that the product is good and knowing that people are there for it. And that's what's important.
Man, a lot of great insight. I appreciate that. And I had no idea what I was getting myself into work related when I started this. Okay, so mind you, I haven't experienced everything you have experienced when it comes to the shows that you produce and all the time. But as an actor in them, holy crap, it's a lot of time. But now that I own my own company and I do this, no one knows, except unless you've been in that position, how many hours you put in. Like, I've talked to a lot of these guys, and I'm not joking, a lot of these guys, and I'll be working at, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and they're still up doing their stuff. And so we'll just be chatting back and forth while I'm working and they're working. And it's just like, I've averaged, so I have this watch, and it actually figures out when I'm sleeping. I average 4 hours and 17 minutes a night of sleep. That's it. And I am exhausted all the time.
Between 6 kids working full time and then trying to start a freaking business, I don't know what the hell you were thinking, dude. Like, yeah, you're never gonna sleep again. Like,
yeah, but in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to stop. There's days where I'm frustrated and I'm like, oh, I have to make 100 more butters and I don't want to. It's just exhausting. But just exactly what Vinny said. Just never quit, never surrender, because I'm doing this for them. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this to better our situation. And I believe in myself. So just kind of like you are.
I will say this. If you pour your heart and soul into what you're doing, and as a young entrepreneur, there is a point in which you will get on top. It's like water skiing, right? Or wakeboarding. They say, when you're pulling out of the water, that's the hardest thing. But then you get up on top of the water and you're going. I mean, it took me a lot of years to get to that point. But when you get, sorry, my wife is here and she's very hot.
Hey, Morgan, how you doing?
Hi, Dyson.
How are you?
So good. A lot better now that he has this amazing beard stuff.
I appreciate it. Your husband's enlightening us all. Everyone, this is Morgan. She's the co-owner of
And I have really good taste, and this stuff's real good.
Also, I will say, she is my total partner in crime. She's my
is.
total partner in life. And you don't need one of these to make it successfully as an entrepreneur, but God, it helps.
It does. You guys are great.
Your beard stuff is great. I'm obsessed with it.
I told you she wouldn't leave the bathroom.
Good. Well, I would leave the bathroom and then go smell him and then come back to the bathroom. But he probably already told you, but like, I bought him some really good smelling cologne a couple months ago for his birthday.
Oh, I forgot to tell this.
And I was like, the cologne does the same stuff. Like, when he puts it on in the bathroom, I want to be in the bathroom or next to him. But this stuff, it does the same thing, but it does something. It has a function other than just smelling good. It like makes his beard softer and look good. It's hot.
So this is Dagan, his bearded gay guy. He's a stud. You like him?
Oh, I love that.
This is Russ, but yeah, Russ, yeah.
Yes. That's a great problem to have as an entrepreneur.
So E is one of you guys.
I'm so sorry, you rock.
Come on.
We
don't know what G-rated means.
No, it just smells really good. The end.
Russ, we have body butter and we have soap, and we are working on a whole Copper John woman's line.
You are really?
Oh yeah.
I don't have a beard. What are you gonna make for me?
She smelled the
I'll
soap.
talk to you offline.
She loved
I'm
it.
excited. Because a lot of the time I feel like women's lines are very, very fluffy, and I actually like more for myself, a little more of like
the musky, masculine,
natural,
yeah.
not just flowers, you know.
You would like Glass Cash probably.
Okay, I'll try it.
You guys have an echo. Do you guys hear that?
What? Oh, we have an echo?
Yeah.
Shoot, we can't hear it. Sorry.
Can everyone hear it? I can live by it.
It also might be my children running around upstairs. So I'm going to go quiet them. I just want to say hi and that I love your product and you're amazing, Tyson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you, baby.
All right. So next question. If you go back and change anything, these past 9 years that you've been doing this, would you? And what would you change?
I think that everything happens for a reason, and I think that everything makes us stronger as long as we allow it to make us stronger. And so that question is hard for me because I look at that and I go, well, there's certainly some responses to different. Hey, Nick, there are certainly responses to different things that I would maybe change. Maybe responses where I wasn't super loving to different individuals that may have come at me with different things, employees or patrons or people giving me feedback that I wasn't ready to receive at the time. I always wish that I could have been more loving. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know that I would have changed anything other than I would have given myself a lot more grace. And I would have realized that I'm growing and that I'm learning and that's okay. And I think that that's probably the only thing I would have changed were just things internally to me. What have I experienced? What have I felt? And
I like that a lot because I had an anniversary sale this past Tuesday because it was a full year, January 1st, so 3 days ago. And I had an anniversary sale and I sold more than I ever have in one day, like quadrupled what the most I've ever sold. And I am stressing up the wazoo about making sure it gets all out. And mind you, I still have all these orders and plus some, and I'm just like, guys, I'm trying and I'm stressing out. And everyone who I talk to and everything, hey, it's not a big problem. It's not, it's not.
It's an amazing problem to have.
Yeah. Everyone's like, it's not a big deal. Like, most companies are like 5 to 10 days. This has been 3 days and everything, mind you, will be done and it'll be gone out on Tuesday morning, but because tomorrow's closed. But I just stress, I lose sleep over that crap. And I wish, just like you, is like, give yourself more grace. And I have to learn that. That's something that I really believe in. And, but how is the key.
The other thing too, Tyson, and I've been observing you for the past year, and some of the minutiae. I'll text you and be like, "How you doing?" Whatever, and you'll be like, "I just did a sale and it's blown up, and I didn't expect this many orders." And I'm like, "Good for you!" Like what a wonderful problem to have. Like when I have sellout crowd after sellout crowd, and I've got these problems that come from having these sellout crowds, like. It's the most amazing problem to have as an entrepreneur. And it's a different skill set for sure.
Yeah.
And again, that's getting on top of the wake, right? And for so long we sit in the minutia and go, how do we get ourselves on top? How do we get to the top? And then when we get there, we start looking around and we start panicking. We're like, well, shit, I don't know what to do with all of this. And like, it's a new problem to have. And that's another thing I say to people is don't be afraid to hire. Don't be afraid to pour your money into resources and things that will help you as an entrepreneur to continue to do what you do best, which is make a great product and have great, upfront people skills. This stuff that you're doing with social media, all these things that you're doing, that is fueling what you do. That is fueling Copper Johns. That is fueling who you are as a company. And the minute that you are too bogged down and trying to fulfill these 100 orders plus and get them out by Tuesday, the minute that you are caught up in that minutia, the minute everything starts to slow down and it starts to give way, and that's where people start to lose their footing. That's where great companies start to lose their footing.
Yeah.
And I guess on that point, it's just like, it's like you've got a new problem now. You've made a great product. You're a great person. You've got this great business. How do you stay on top? How do you continue? And that's where you've got to take all those entrepreneurial things and mindsets that got you where you are to getting you to the next thing. Because the minute you can't fulfill...
Sorry, you can finish and then we can answer this question.
Oh, no, you're great. I love it. I get very distracted.
I won't do that again.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
So, Caleb, is there any way that you could use social media to help your vision?
So I use social media a lot. And actually, I'm to the point where imagine that you were launching a new, not a beard oil, but a new complete different product every single month, if not more. You were doing a beard oil and then a hairspray and then a thing, all of these things that affect different regions. Mm-hmm. So I may be producing theater, but the type of theater I produce is different for every single person, and every single show I do produces a different thing.
Yeah, and a different audience.
A totally different audience. And so, yes, to answer your question, I use social media a ton, but for me, it's hard to know what to always promote. My social media, I have two different social medias. I have a youth academy that's 18 and under, and then I have a professional main stage theater. And those are two different social media accounts. But to just give you an example, my one social media account has been doing 3 to 4 posts a day currently to promote the programming it has. My academy has so many products and so many different things to promote daily that we're posting 3 or 4 times a day right now. And that bogs down. So I have a totally different problem, right? Mm-hmm. How do I not bog down my clientele with the same information every single day? But how do I continue to engage with them in a way that's interesting to them so that they won't miss any of the programming that I am offering without bombarding them, right? How do you, Tyson, come out with a new scent of your beard oil while still promoting all the other beard oils and all the other butters and all the other things that you're doing?
It's a great question. I use a lot of like, for instance, Vinny, Nick, Bruce City, like all these guys right here who I actually use them and I use their influences that they have, and I give them free products or I give them a commission rate or something like that for that. So I use influencers to help me push the other stuff that other than what I'm trying to push, and it works. But at the same time, I don't want to bombard everyone because, just like you said, it gets to the point where like, enough.
Well, but so much, and what you just described works for me very well in my business. It's word of mouth. And the people you have around you that love your product, and especially the mavens, it's the tipping point. If you've ever read the book, The Tipping Point, it talks about these different types of people that we have around, that one of them is a maven. And the mavens are people that will talk to people and they'll say, hey, I just tried this amazing beard oil. You have to get this stuff. Here's your website. And that is more powerful. You could put 10 grand behind an online marketing campaign. But that one person telling that one other person that tells that other person that tells that other person, that boom, 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 boom. Suddenly that's better than this $10,000 marketing campaign that you did online.
And I think that's what happened with Addams Family.
Yes, it happens with a lot of the shows. For instance, I just produced Bright Star.
Yeah.
Talk about Bright Star. Most of the people on here have never, ever, ever heard of that show. But I'll tell you a name that's associated with that show that almost everybody here has heard, and that is Steve Martin. I say Steve Martin, what do you think? You think comedy.
Uh-huh.
Most of you don't think banjo music. Some of you might. Some of you that are in the know, like Banjo Steve, whoever was on here earlier.
Beards and Banjos.
Beards and Banjos, you're going to know Steve Martin for his banjo work. But most people only know Steve Martin for his comedy. So when I say, come see a bluegrass musical that's not a comedy, but written by Steve Martin, y'all roll your eyes at me. Everybody does, right?
Uh-huh.
But what happened is opening weekend, I made sure to give away tickets. I made sure to pack the house that opening weekend. The reviewers were there. The mavens were there. All the people that I know that are going to support me and what I do, they were all there for the launch of that product. They were all there for the launch of that. That was only going to run 3 more weekends after that. They all came. They saw it. When you see that show, you can't help but be viscerally affected emotionally. That's what the product does to you. Just like when I put on your beard oil, my wife was viscerally, emotionally affected by it, right?
Uh-huh.
Just looks at me and goes, great, you got to wear that every day, right? And so that happens, and we have this event, this experience. Then all of those people go out and they tell everybody else about it. Then suddenly that is better than any marketing campaign you ever could have launched ever in a million years. Are those people that were affected by that, this network that you have that are commenting right now on this live cast. Those are the people, those are the friends, those are the people that are going to help make this happen. And that is more powerful than anything you can have. And don't ever underestimate that power, especially as an entrepreneur. Yeah. The people that are close to you, that are rooting for you, that love your product, keep them close to you, keep them loving your product, and do what you can for them, to within reason, of course. Yeah. Because they're the ones that are going to help you be strong. They're the ones that are going to help you ultimately grow more people like them. Oh,
these guys, everyone, they're amazing people, and I totally agree with you. Okay, so it's 7 o'clock Eastern time, so we have a little bit longer until they start doing fireworks. Guys, I appreciate all of you attending and watching and listening and commenting. It means a lot. Happy 4th of July. You guys are wonderful people. But all right, so what's the most embarrassing thing, improv mistake you've ever been a part of on stage? Was it me wearing my Christmas shorts?
Oh, you guys, I have to embarrass you really quick. So one year, Tyson, if you've never met Tyson in person, what you don't know about Tyson is you're what, 6'5"?
6'3".
6'3", and just mass. Like Tyson as a human being is just massive. And like, if you think his personality is massive, like wait till you see him in person. Like he's just a hunk of a dude. And like, he always, anytime I have a casting problem where I'm trying to think, I need somebody that's intimidatingly large to put on stage, my first phone call is Tyson. So one year, so Tyson always plays Santa for us, right? Unless we have the real Santa Claus, Lane Wilden, who you know.
Yeah,
he
is.
Oh, he's Santa Claus incarnate. Like,
yeah, he is.
My kids think he's Santa, and as well they should.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, Tyson is Santa, and Tyson comes to play Santa, and he is perfect. And one year on stage, we thought it would be really, really funny for Santa to show Santa like in his robe, like relaxing after Christmas had passed and like whatever. And so we thought it'd be really funny to put Tyson in whitey tighties that were lit with Christmas lights. And he'd be covered by this huge Santa robe, and then he would remove the robe and walk forward on stage. Well, let's just say it was too hot for TV.
Yeah, it was like I was in my posing trunks doing bodybuilding. It was bad.
Oh, seriously though. I was one of the only 5 people to ever witness it in an audience.
Yeah, it was during
I was during rehearsal week, yeah, and I was very turned on, so much so that we had to say no, and we put you in those boxers. But I don't know. I for me, like, what's my biggest improv mistake on stage? I will say the most embarrassing thing I've had, other than looking back on moments and going like, damn, I should have said XYZ, which happens to the best of us. I had in high school, we were doing this stupid play, and I went on stage. I shouldn't say stupid play. It was Heartbreak House by George Bernard Shaw, this renowned writer. We all studied him in high school, like blah, blah, blah. We were doing this show, and I forgot my frickin' lines. And I left the stage because I couldn't remember what and I thought I was done, and I walked backstage, and it went silent on stage, and I went, oh crap. And so I tore through my book. I was just looking through my script, and I realized I had left probably 5 pages of dialogue early. Like, all of this exposition, all of this storytelling, the actors on stage were just standing there going, this character does so much more. And I finally, I felt so bad for everybody, and I finally realized my mistake. I walked back on stage and I said, I'm back, and I've got more. And I just launched into the script, and like, that was the worst. That was just the worst thing for me ever to have done to a group of people on stage.
It's just, mine is like just me breaking. I break all the time.
Oh, you're the worst.
I really.
We haven't talked about this yet, but last Christmas, so we decided, we've done this Christmas show forever that Tyson's been a part of for 5+ years. And this last year we decided to do puppets. And so we built these Sesame Street style puppets. Some of them require 2 people to operate. Yeah. So the character I play, which is Dumbledore, I play Bumbledore is the name of the character. But Tyson is my right hand, which is literally, he plays the right arm of my character. And that right arm handles my wand, which is very important to right? So I'm there controlling the left arm and then the puppeting mechanism of the actual puppet. And Tyson is just there on my right side doing whatever the crap he wants. Putting the wand up my character's nose, like whatever he wants to do. And man, it was just, that was a riot, dude.
And you're sitting here doing yours, and the puppet kept doing this because I kept laughing.
Oh, he would laugh so hard that the entire puppet would just shake because Tyson's laughing too hard. And of course, we're so close together because of the mechanism of the puppet that like we're like you have your arm around my entire body. We're just like cuddled together as this one entity doing this puppetry, and you start freaking laughing, and the whole puppet is just shaking because you can't keep your crap together.
But you say something different every night. It's hilarious.
It's not my fault. You should be ready for it. Come on.
All right. So where do you see yourself in 5, 10, and 15 years?
All right. Really for us, the goal is to continue to grow. Right now we have an arts academy, 18 and under. We put 1,000 kids on stage every year. I want to see that grow exponentially. 5,000, 10,000 kids a year. I don't know what that looks like. That'll continue to grow. I also want to open a conservatory for the arts, so that basically you can decide, like, look, do I need to go to college to get my degree in acting, or can I go to the Ziegfeld Arts Academy, conservatory for the arts, and get a certificate there and get the training there that I'll need to then go on to Broadway to then go on to the professional stages of the world and movies and what have you. Can I get that training there? And that's really, for me, that's that goal. The other goal for me is, well, two things. One, to be producing touring productions. And so, you know, when you hear that Hamilton is coming to your town, I want that to be produced by the Ziegfeld Theater, by the Ziegfeld Touring Company. You know, that's a big dream of mine. The other big dream of mine is, you know, continuing with the example of Hamilton, to say, what's the next big Broadway hit that's going to come out? I want that show to have been on my stage in Ogden, Utah, working out the kinks, working out everything, rewriting the script, rewriting the songs, rewriting everything to make it perfect, to then go to Broadway to be produced on Broadway.
Oh, nice.
I want the Ziegfeld to be an integral part of that. And so as an entrepreneur, those are the things that I'm working forward to. And aside, you know, the byproduct of that, of course, is that my community will get to participate in that. That my community here will get to continue to grow in the arts, and that we will continue to build an amazing artistic community together to involve more people, to get more people seeing the arts and involved in the arts. And those are the things that are passionate to me about that project.
Dude, that's amazing. I'm excited to see how that all happens, because that's huge. It could be really big. And I do know that you do have people in Broadway that have been working for you, as well as, you know, and have moved on. So I think that's really cool. All right, Now comes the fun stuff. Well, this has all been fun. Don't get me wrong. I've enjoyed it. But the dumb questions.
All right.
Would you rather have unlimited pizza for life or unlimited tacos for life?
Tacos, as long as they are true tacos. Al Pastor tacos. If anybody's eaten at Tacos El Gordos down in Tijuana or anywhere, Al Pastor tacos. My wife makes a mean taco. Tacos, forget it. True, authentic street taco style. I will eat it all day. It's my favorite thing in this world.
Yeah, that's
no question.
Yep, and the carne asada type of stuff is my favorite. But for me, those aren't true tacos from what I'm understanding. But I don't care; they're amazing.
Yeah, your Costa Vida, your Taco Bell, like, no, screw all that stuff. That's not tacos. But a real
taco has that al pastor carne asada tacos. Those are good to me.
So good, so good. That's it for life.
Would you rather play a villain or a hero?
Depends.
Okay.
Depends. I love being able to delve into a character. And the villain, I think villains are harder to play because people don't want to like a villain. But for me, getting people to understand where a villain is coming from, that's a huge acting and artistic challenge. Absolutely. That I love taking on. You know, just recently we did Bright Star, which, spoiler alert, I won't ruin the end of the play for you, but there's an individual that throws a baby off of a train into a river, right? And working with my actor, Kevin played that, of course. Kevin always plays my villain. And he's so good at it. But working with Kevin and saying, look, dude, like, and he was very adamant. He said to me, I don't want this to just be a villain that nobody understands. And I said, yeah, I get that. Where's he coming from? Where is this individual at that he would get to a point where he would do such a thing? And that, I think, is so important to me. And I think heroes have all that, but it's always very obvious. It's always like, oh yeah, he's the champion of the right, and like, let him go do the thing. But a villain also thinks that they're a champion of the right. A villain also thinks that they are correct in what they are doing. Otherwise, they wouldn't do what they're doing. Yeah. There's no such thing as just pure evil. And sorry, you're going to make me philosophize, but going into life, someone that crosses you or does something wrong to you that you view as incorrect, First of all, I don't believe in wrong or right. I believe in things that work and don't work. And when someone comes at you and does something that it doesn't work for you, they obviously thought that it was true. They obviously thought it was correct, or they would never have done it.
Yeah, just kind of how we were talking about before. It's like sometimes we'll say something that is misconstrued and we hurt someone's feelings, and that's never the intention of someone. I truly believe no one really, really wants to hurt your feelings, and that type of thing. It's like, why would I purposely try to hurt you? So there is one person though. He loves Taco Bell.
I will say, I do enjoy Taco Bell. Don't get me wrong, but to call that a taco, no. John Bell did not know what the hell he was doing when he created tacos down in California. Come on.
So, but I'm not going to lie. So I live, right off the base. There's that Taco Bell on 1900,
Yep.
and I tried their fries with their nachos. I'm like, okay, this is good.
Oh, don't get me wrong. It's great. But you can't call it Mexican.
It's totally American.
So mad at both of us if we called that Mexican.
All right. Now for me, I'm going to answer this first. Would you rather be able to sing like a diva or be able to play the guitar like a rock star? For me, I've always, and you know this, I've talked to you countless times, I wish I could sing. I mean, I wish I could just go crazy and be able
I wish you could too. I have no words for you.
But I just that's me. I would rather sing like that than be able to play guitar just because I don't know. I just wish I could sing. I can sing low, but that's about it.
This is a hard question for me, and I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I can sing very well.
You can sing really good.
I don't have a huge range though. And so for me, like, I wish I could sing like your A's and your B's and just like belt it out and be like that diva rock star voice, like some of the people we know, like Becky Cole or Becky Knowles.
Yeah.
She's like out of this world. Like you hear her sing and you're just like, oh my God, like that's it, right? I don't know, but man, I can't play a lick of guitar, and I so wish I could. I so wish I could play guitar. So I don't know. I guess I wish I could do half and half. I don't know.
Well, see, and Isaac plays the guitar amazing well, and I see him, and I've seen all the work he's put into it. But I just, I feel like guitar, you can work at it. Singing, you can work at it to a point, but it's like you got it or you don't. And man alive, I wish I could sing. Where I just sing, and like Vinny right here would just cry. I'd kill a villain role just saying. I got to figure out how to see an action for sure. I'm a closet actor.
I love it, dude. That's amazing.
No, I love playing a villain. I didn't know I liked it until I was Oliver in Bill Sykes, and then I realized I really like it.
Well, you were an awesome Bill Sykes. You played what's his name? Spider. No, did you play Spider?
Nope.
Yeah, in Newsies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You guys, I made Tyson learn American Sign Language.
It's true.
Do a show where he had to speak in English and American Sign Language, and his fat fingers were able enough to do it, and that was awesome. You were awesome, dude.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Now, last question. Now, this is for all my bald friends, because I'm having a mullet competition in September, where people are already starting to grow it. And I've been telling all these guys who are bald that just have bald right here, but they can grow a mullet. They won't do it. I'm a little sad. Would you rather be bald or grow a mullet? You have to choose. You either have a mullet or you're bald.
Bald.
Really?
Oh, yeah. No,
You never want to grow a mullet.
No mullets for this guy. Forget it. Like, no.
I'm starting to grow one.
No, that's ugly. Go bald. I couldn't. No, I love my hair, and I think I'll always have a good head of hair. I think, fingers crossed. But God, if I had to pick between a mullet and bald, I'd go bald. Especially if I had a rockin' beard. If I had a good beard.
You and your brother, I think you could grow a really big, thick, full beard if you just let it grow.
We could. My brother more so than me, but yeah. I could grow a hell of a mullet. but no, thank you. I would not. I don't believe in it. I can't subject society to it.
You know what's funny is the other day, so we were at church, and we're sitting and I'm sitting in the back, and I look at my wife. I'm like, "Will you check out that mullet? It is glorious." And she's like, "That's Sister so and so." I'm like, "That's a woman." I'm like, "No," because I loved it. I thought it was the best mullet ever.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so they're coming back on women too.
No, they're not.
The 80s are coming back.
No.
Next thing you know, it's MC Hammer Pants.
Oh, forget it. I will say, I will take those over mullet. I will say the woman who delivered my last child, my 3-year-old, Ginny, she has a rockin' mullet. And I looked at her and said, how could I ever trust you to deliver my child with a mullet like that?
Well, I really do appreciate you, Caleb, for joining us. We went over like 20 more minutes. It's probably the longest besides Vinny. And you're a good friend.
Time.
Are you kidding? I love this. And people who come back and watch it are going to really enjoy it. You had a lot of good insight, and I appreciate you, man. I really do. So I will end the broadcast. You're more than welcome to stay, and we can chit-chat a little bit. It's totally up to you. But I appreciate you guys all for coming. Have a wonderful and safe 4th, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Tyson.
Yeah.